White Ladder was like a long and wonderful story that wrote itself out over several years. It basically started in Ireland, and it's the Irish passion that fired this record off into the world, and we got success and airplay in Ireland, and we were doing well. It gave us the momentum and also, importantly, the belief that we could make this work everywhere. So, of course, there's nothing tougher it's the hardest country in the world to crack is the UK, a bunch of bastards we are. And it's a fact, you know, and get worse, I think, actually. So, you know, we had Ireland, and Warner's took the record on for us in the UK, and they were giving it a push. It was coming up the charts, and we were starting to think, oh my God, this is actually going to happen. So they re-released Babylon as a single. It was the same week that we were due to play Glastonbury. We played our set in Glastonbury. We had a fantastic time. We could feel there was some magic in the air. And we had a party, went back to the hotel, woke up bleary-eyed the next morning, and the manager said, festival had just been on the phone. Burt Bacharach's pulled out of his Sunday afternoon slot, tripped over his own cravat while playing frisbee, nasty shoulder dislocation. Would you like to step in? And we said, absolutely, we would. So we were then going to play the Sunday afternoon slot, 3 down from Bowie, on the main Pyramid stage. So my dad was watching telly. He was going through chemotherapy somewhere in a hospital in Wales, and he watched the highlights of our first set on the telly. And when he heard about the second one, he just thought, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. And he basically pulled the tubes out. He rang his mate to pick me up in the car park, and he broke out of hospital and they drove to Glastonbury. So as we're readying ourselves for the biggest gig of our lives, all these people started coming out of the woodwork, friends and family, and then suddenly my dad's there. He actually came and he was chanting, chemo, 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 which was a bit mad really, but it was a mad time. So then we went out, we did this gig in front of like 60, 70,000 people. It was insane, you know, it was beautiful, wonderful. Came back and we were just basically walking on air, and then the record company guy turned up and he said, don't forget the chart rundowns this afternoon. You'll find out where Babylon's got in. So we listened to the chart tick down, and it ticked down from 40, and when it got into the top 10, I was just like, well, maybe it isn't in the top 40. And then lo and behold, there it was at number 5. I wish I could tell you it got to number 1. But everyone in music knows that 5's better than 1. Who wants one finger when you can have a whole hand? That's what I say. That sounded sexual, I didn't mean it like that. So anyway, let's just rewind, forget that last bit. Oh fuck, I fucked my own story up. I'm too funny, or too stupid, or probably both. Anyway, there we were, we were walking on air, we went into kind of like a giant frothing huddle. They were just sort of effervescent, like human effervescence. A sort of phosphorescent lump of joy that was basically just bouncing around, drinking and smoking everything we could find. And my dad said, look at us, having the time of our lives, surrounded by family and friends. He said, look at David Bowie standing over there. He looks lost. He said, you know what, son, I'm going to go and have a word with him. I said, hang on a minute, Dad. You broke out of hospital, that was cool, you know, and you know, you broke into Glastonbury, that was cool as well, but please just leave David Bowie alone. He said, no, son, I'm going over there to talk to Bowie. Tim pipes up, all right, Pete, I'm coming with you. It's Bowie. I said, come on, Clue, this is it. We're going to go and talk to Bowie. Anyway, we went over there and he was right. Bowie was having a funny moment. It was a massive night for him. It was like, it was a return. It was the return of Bowie. It was coming back from maybe a slight, I wouldn't call it wilderness years, but he'd been low-key for a while. This was a big deal to him. And my dad had called it right. Anyway, we didn't have the cursory 5-minute, hello, how are you conversation. He saw something happening to us. He's been through it himself, all of it. He just opened up. We had a fantastic chat. Anyway, this was the day of days, right? They're right in the heart of the White Ladder story. Babylon had gone into number 5. We were walking on air. I was so high after this particular day, it took me about a month to get my feet even close to the ground. And I don't think they've ever quite touched down ever since. So, in a spirit of in a spirit of celebration and commemoration for everyone who's a part of the White Ladder story, yourselves included, and all the people who haven't made it this far, I'd like to sing a couple of songs by the great man himself.